Hey guys, today in Art Club with Miss Burford, we'll be creating these 3D foam baubles. You will need foam clay in a variety of colours. You want to use the ones with the polystyrene balls in them. Either an old bauble that you can recycle or one of these new plain ones to decorate. And some ribbon, small enough to go through the hole of the bauble. So each child will need a bauble, either an old one that you have from home which is recycled. I just didn't have any spare plain round ones, so I got one from the shop for each child. The only bit of prep that you need to do is to break up your foam clay into smaller balls of clay. I just find it easier to give out to each child, and I do the rule that if you want some of that clay colour, you have to swap with another child. So some children end up with a mishmash of colours and some end up with the ones that they need, but they'll be happy because they'll all end up with the same amount then. As I film this video after doing this lesson with the kids this year, I haven't got a lot of foam clay colour choices left, so I'm doing a bright pink bauble. So they can do a solid colour background, and you just want to flatten out the clay in your hands and just start laying it on the bauble. And children will say, "Oh, but it's not sticking," which it doesn't exactly stick at the time of putting it down, but as you then seal the whole bauble and it all joins back together at the top, making sure you leave the hole for the string to be seen, it will all come together and it will seal itself to the bauble. So as you can see, I've been smoothing out my clay as I go around the bauble, and the thinner your layer is, the quicker it will dry. This thickness usually take 1 to 3 days. I have had some children that have put on way too much clay and then they've taken about a week to dry, and it's wasted a lot of clay. You do not need a lot of clay, just a thin layer, and if you have any bits where the layer's gone a bit too thin and then you end up with a hole, you can patch up this hole very easily with another bit of clay added in and just smooth it out, and you won't even know that there's a hole there. We did these in art club, so these were very much an individual design and children made up a design on the spot. We did this within an hour, coming up with a design and then making it, and that was plenty of time. However, if you want to make this a little bit longer, you could get the children to design a bauble in their books first for an art project, and look at different artists that might influence the style that you use. So Mondrian is one of my favourite artists, so I'm going to use that as an example here. You might focus on looking at the styles and subjects that the artist looks at, and then use that within your bauble design. However, we just went for design your bauble however you'd like it, and some of the children just wanted to do funky colours, which was fine, and others wanted to do a design on it. So I had some people do a candle on it, Father Christmas, a Christmas tree. Some people did their cats, so it doesn't have to be Christmas based. You could do it based on their likes and dislikes. Well, you want to do it based on their likes rather than their dislikes, but yeah, just make it personalised to the children. Use your work surface area to design any 3D parts of your bauble. So my Christmas tree I did on the table, and I used my fingers to shape it, and then you can add on these things to your bauble. It's easier to do it on the work surface first, then work on the bauble surface. The great thing with foam clay is that you can also mix the colours, so you can get some custom colours too. So this didn't have any brown in it, but I know some of the kids made brown the other day, and they made some darker shades of colours. Like I say, I'm very limited to what colours I've got left, as we used up quite a lot of clay the other day. I was quite impressed as I didn't buy a lot, and the children did really well at, like I say, having so many balls of clay and then swapping it between them so that we weren't wasting loads of clay. As you can see on my design, I did a tree with some baubles and I added some tinsel, and then just to finish it off, I made a star. This was actually quite tricky. I did 4 points on my star and then turned the one thick point of my star into 2, so that's how I got my 5 points, and then just added this to the top of my tree. Of course, you can go around the whole bauble with a design. I'm just doing this to show as an example of my Christmas tree. You may even like to have a go at writing your name on the bauble in the clay on the one side. It's quite tricky though. To finish it off, thread some ribbon through the top of your bauble. I just think it's better personally than the string that the baubles come with. And again, the children can choose what colour ribbon they want to go through, and it's another personal touch. Leave these to set for approximately 3 days, and then they can take them home. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more art lessons like this every week and other art related content every now and then. See you next week for more Art Club with Miss Burford.